What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, like the title says, I'm going to replace the fuel pump on my car. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. There's also a fuel feed line that I got to put on the fuel filter of the car. I'm going to see if I could try and do that today. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Tap that notification button. That way you know when a new video is on its way. Let's get started with today's video. Alright, so as always, my luck. Every time I want to work on my car, it's always raining. So I'm probably not going to do that fuel line that I'm talking about. I'll probably just do the fuel pump only. But I'll just show you guys real quick. Right there. The line that goes right into there. That's the guy that I will need to replace. Looks like the line was cut or something. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to just show you guys the fuel pump. But if I get time to do that and if it stops raining, I'll do that as well. Alright guys, so I'm inside the car on these Civic EGs, Integras, I believe the EKs as well. The fuel pump is right under the back seat. As you can see, that's the cover. So you just got these screws you gotta take out right here. And then this one right over here. So you just gotta pretty much take the back seat out. You don't have to take the back one out, just this bottom part of the seat. And then you have access to this. So we're gonna go ahead and take those screws out real quick, and then I'll show you how it looks from under there. Alright guys, so once you pull this back, this little cover, this is what you're gonna see. And this part itself, this is what we're gonna pull out. The fuel pump sits right under that. So you're gonna have these little rubber pieces covering all these connectors here. Just gotta pretty much pull them back. So we're gonna disconnect this one here. We're gonna disconnect this one here as well. We're gonna take this little rubber hose off, and we're also gonna take this guy off as well. Once we move these out the way, all these 10mm nuts right here, we'll just have to take all those out, and then the fuel pump itself is gonna come right out. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. Alright guys, so this guy gave me a little hard time getting off, but I was able to get it off. Just grab some pliers and wiggle it off. This nut is a 17. They call it a banjo bolt. And there's a little washer that goes on the bottom side and on the top side. Make sure you don't lose those. And this connector right here, they didn't really have to take it off, but I took it off anyway just to make sure everything is out my way. But the next thing we're going to do now is just take these 10mm nuts out, and then the fuel pump's coming out. Alright guys, so I got all the 10mm nuts out. And next, I'm going to go ahead and take the fuel pump out. So you're going to lift it up. Okay, you got to kind of angle it a little bit as you're taking it out, as it sits kind of weird. All right, here we go. Now Here's the little filter coming out. All right, and here you guys have it. The fuel pump is out. I'm gonna go bring it to my table and show you guys how to swap this out. All right, guys, so I got the fuel pump right over here now, so you can see how it is. This is the new fuel pump we're gonna be putting on the car. And in order to get this guy out, there's this clip right here you gotta take off. This is gonna come right out. We got these two clamps that we gotta take off as well. We're gonna replace this hose since the new one comes with a new hose, new clamps, and it comes with a new filter as well. Now, in order to get this filter, there's a locking ring that sits in here, which I already took out. There's a new locking ring here. That way you can see how it looks. And once you take all those things out, you'll be able to take the fuel pump out, and then we can start putting the new one on. All right, so now that this locking ring is out, I'm gonna just pull this filter right off. So now that comes out. We're gonna work on taking this connector off. We just gotta push these tabs up. And this side. Whoops. There's that. And now we could press down on this and try to move this guy off. Alright, this connector was being a pain in the ass, so we got it off now. There we go. Now we're going to work on getting this clamp out with some needle nose pliers. Just pull the fuel pump out. I'll make it a little easier this way. There we go. And now so wiggling does help. Trying to take this off because it's usually stuck in there. If you wiggle it, it'll try to break it loose. So now we got the old fuel pump out. This is the new fuel pump. We still got to take this hose out real quick because we want to replace that. So I'm going to try and get this clamp off as well. Alright, so we're going to measure the hose so we can cut it the same length. That should be pretty good about there. Okay. Alright, so that's about the same distance. Now, it's better that we got these style clamps because these guys are so much harder to move around. But these are the ones we're going to be using now. So we'll just put these guys on. Do this side first. And I'm going to start wiggling it back on this end. Alright, so that's on. Okay, oh, put it on this side. This side would be easier. Okay. And next, I'll grab the new fuel pump. Take these little things off. Alright, and this only sits one way, so you can't really mess this part up. That goes there. Don't forget to put this clamp on first. And I'm gonna wiggle the fuel pump on this side, on this hose. Alright. So that's on. Okay. And I'm gonna put this guy on right now real quick. Goes this way. Alright, so the fuel pump's on. Got the bottom rubber piece on here secured. The fuel pump's on there nice and neat. I tightened this guy down already. Just got to tighten this clamp down real quick. Just a flathead. Alright, now that that's nice and tight, I'm going to put the connector back on. Alright, the connector's on. Now we got to put this little clip back on as well. Alright, and now all we got to do now is put the filter on. This guy's going to go right on here. Now you got to squeeze it in pretty far. You got to make sure that it goes all the way in. Alright, you can kind of almost hear it snap into place. Alright, and once that's in, last thing we got to do is get our little locking ring. Whoops. This little guy right here. And I'm going to press it on in there, and that's what's going to pretty much keep this in place without falling out. Alright, so I got the locking nut on off camera because it's a real pain in the ass to do. But I just laid it on there, grab some needle nose pliers, and pretty much try to push it all the way through until it secures. Alright, so now we got the new fuel pump on into place. Next, what we got to do is put it back in here, which is the reverse of the removal. And this, when you put it in here, you want to kind of go in an angle, because all this got to sit in that little pan right in there. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Fuel pump is all new in the car now. I do want to give a shout out to my wife for helping me record. And as always, keep on watching.